It was gorgeous. Yeah.
Okay, at 6 p.m. we'll call our meeting to order. We'll start with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah, roll call, please, Maria.
Mr. Bembo?
Here.
Mr. Davis? Here. Mrs. Lee? Here. Mrs. Head? Here. Mrs. Rayland? Here. Mr. Cranes?
Here, we'll start our meeting tonight with special recognition of district retirees. This is one of the good things we get to do, although we miss some people when they go. So I can step forward when I call your name. We'll start with Deb Moore Grunlow.
Last chance to consider.
My granddaughter wants to know why you all have glasses.
Welcome to your future.
This one's an age thing.
Okay, Deb Moore Grunlow is an early education teacher with the Wisconsin Rapids Public Schools. You're retiring after 26 and a half years. One of Deb's interests includes performing respite care for children with special needs. Also, her many years of involvement with Special Olympics is a testament to her passion and commitment to helping our special needs community. Deb has been involved with Special Olympics since 1987. In 1992, the program was initiated in the district. Deb has traveled to many areas of the country, such as Connecticut and North Carolina, because of her involvement in Special Olympics. She even traveled to China after she was selected to be an assistant coach for the United States team for the World Special Olympics Games. It has been said about Deb, the quality of a school system is measured through the hard work of the quality people that work within it, and she is a reflection of the quality that she and others bring to the Wisconsin Rapids School District. Thank you, Deb, for everything that you have done to enhance the lives of those you've connected with while working in the Wisconsin Rapids School District. We wish you all the best in your retirement. Certificate from Tony Evers, the State Superintendent of Public Instruction. It's in recognition of 26.5 years of commitment and service to the educational well-being of our young people. These contributions are acknowledged with this expression of grateful appreciation. You're welcome.
Very much. You guys been a fine district to work for. Seen lots of changes from starting in 1990 and from 1982 actually when I very first started working. But you guys have been great to work with and very supportive, and appreciate your mission with working with children with special needs and making them and putting them in the forefront. So
Thank you. It's definitely missed.
thank you.
Enjoy your retirement.
Definitely.
Lori Henke. Lori Henke was hired in 1983 and has taught for a total of 33 years in our school district. She spent 27 years teaching at the elementary level at both Rudolph and Woodside elementary schools. For the last 6 years, she has been teaching social studies and English at the Wisconsin Rapids Area Middle School. Lori received her degree with an art minor from UW-Whitewater and received her master's in reading from UW-Stevens Point in 1989. She has worked as an intramural coach as well as church and school volunteer at Emmanuel Lutheran. Work in the field of education runs in Lori's family. Her father taught for 35 years at WRPS. Lori's mother worked as an aide, and her brother taught for over a year in the district. We are grateful for the many contributions and positive impact that Lori has made to the students of WRPS over the years. In her retirement, Lori plans to continue spending time with family and friends and hopes to travel and spend more time on her hobbies. Congratulations and best wishes for a happy, enjoyable retirement, Lori. And this is from Tony Evers, the State Superintendent, in recognition of 33 years of commitment and service to the educational well-being of our young people. These contributions are acknowledged with this expression of grateful appreciation.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
It's been a wonderful place to learn and grow and teach so many kids. I've really appreciated the opportunity to be here. So thank you.
Enjoy your retirement.
Thank you.
Deb Bailey. Deb Bailey has worked in the Wisconsin Rapids School District for the past 24 years. She has spent her entire career in the same position as the district payroll manager. She has thoroughly enjoyed working with her central office family and being able to help many staff members with their questions and needs over the years. Deb has big plans in her retirement. Her plans include getting out on lakes and rivers to fish as much as possible. She will also be spending time with her grandsons, her mother, and perhaps take up painting. Deb, we wish you all the best in your retirement, and thank you for your many years of service to the Wisconsin Rapids School District.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have been fishing and down by my grandsons probably 4 weeks out of the 5 or 6 that we've been off, and down by my mom's. So I miss my family here. I miss working with numbers and helping people, but I really like it. Thank you.
Congratulations. And this is from Tony Evers, the state superintendent, in recognition of 24 years of commitment and service to the educational well-being of our young people. These contributions are acknowledged with this expression of grateful appreciation. Martha Kronholm. Martha Kronholm has been teaching in the Wisconsin Rapids School District since 1974, with only a short leave of absence being taken to pursue her PhD in curriculum. Martha has taught grades 4 through 6 and has worked all at the elementary buildings of Rudolph, Lowell, Meade, and Grove. She is retiring from Grove Elementary. Martha has been involved in too many projects and committees to mention them all. She has been the science coordinator, environmental education chair, and achieved National Board certification in 2002. She has also received many awards throughout her career at WRPS, including the Krista McAuliffe Fellowship in 1987, the Cole Fellowship in 1994, and the Conservation Teacher of the Year Award in 1995. In retirement, Martha has set her sights with an extensive bucket list. She plans to do a great deal of traveling and is interested in joining Earthwatch research expeditions to explore areas of the planet in order to help protect its wildlife and ecosystems. Martha will also continue to work as an associate professor for St. Mary's University. Thank you for your many contributions to WRPS over the course of your employment, Martha. We wish you the very best in your retirement. And from Tony Evers, in recognition of 42 years of commitment and service to the educational well-being of our young people, these contributions are acknowledged with this expression of grateful appreciation.
Thank you so much.
Lorraine Wallach. Lori Wallach has retired after 26 years with the Wisconsin Rapids School District. She has worked at Rudolph Elementary, West Junior High School, and has spent the last 22 years as a special education aide at Lincoln High School. Lori is very active in her church and the community, and she can also be found many evenings working district athletic events or cheering on her favorite Red Raider team. We appreciate your many years of service to the students of Wisconsin Rapids Public School System, Lori. Best wishes for you to a happy, enjoyable retirement. And from Superintendent Evers, in recognition of 26 years of commitment and service to the educational well-being of our young people, these contributions are acknowledged with this expression of grateful appreciation.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you all for your support. 26 years is a lot of kids, a lot of teachers I worked with, learned a lot. Mr. Greenlow introduced me to special education a long time ago, and it was a wonderful ride. Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy your retirement. Larry Redpenny. Hi, Larry.
Hi, thank you.
Larry Redpenny retires from his position at the Wisconsin Rapids Area Middle School after working for 24 years as a technology education teacher at WRPS. Larry has expressed his appreciation to the district for the support of technology education in our community and for the support he has received from Principal Tracy Ginter during his years at Rams. Larry's teaching skills have allowed him to motivate students and find out their interests. He has always strived to push students to the next level. Larry emphasized to his students that they should try hard to do well in class, ultimately carrying that ability over to their life as well. He allowed students to be responsible for their own learning and challenged them to use their newfound skills. Prior to working for WRPS, Larry was an active duty Marine for 13 years. He then completed 17 years in the Marine Corps Reserve. One of Larry's favorite pastimes is hiking the Ice Age Trail, and in retirement, he has plans to finish the remaining 1,000 miles of his trip.
Body holds up.
Larry, thank you for the many positive contributions you have made to our students over the years. We wish you the very best in your retirement. And from Superintendent Evers, in recognition of 24 years of commitment and service to the educational well-being of our young people, these contributions are acknowledged with this expression of grateful appreciation. Thank you.
I just want to say a quick thank you to the staff, teachers over at Rams, used to be West, and the board for supporting Tech Ed. And that's not Tech Ed much anymore. It's Project Lead the Way, and we're moving on up, and things have changed. And I just want to thank the support of the board being behind us there. And Tracy Ginter, her and I started together the same day together, so she feels like I'm bailing out on her, but sorry. I am over 60, so I only got 24 years in, but I am over 60. So it's been a great ride. So I'm on to the next challenge. So thanks again. I appreciate it. Thank you.
We can do a picture.
Come on up. Come on up.
I knew that was going to happen. She brought it down.
Where would you like to?
This would be great.
Okay.
There we go.
Congratulations. Sid Cooper. Thank you. Sid Cooper is retiring after 15 years of teaching music at WRPS. She has enjoyed working with so many talented students and amazing dedicated colleagues in the music department in the district. During her years with WRPS, Sid has been involved with the East Junior High Technology Committee as well as the CII Music Subcommittee. She was also a co-founder and conductor of the Wisconsin Rapids Area Community Choir. Sid enjoys reading, knitting, and quilting. Sid plans to travel and spend time with her family in her retirement. Thank you for your contributions to our district, Sid. We wish you the very best in your retirement. From Superintendent Evers, in recognition of 15 years of commitment and service to the educational well-being of our young people, these contributions are acknowledged with this expression of grateful appreciation. Congratulations.
Thank you all. Thanks for your continued support of the arts and of our wonderful, talented music students that we have in our district. Really appreciate that.
Thank you. Enjoy your retirement. Chris Weinhold. Thank you. Chris Weinhold is retiring after 38 years of employment with the Wisconsin Rapids School District, including the last 30 as a kindergarten teacher at Grove Elementary. Chris stated his greatest career goal has been the connections he has made with many students and families throughout the years. The Wisconsin Rapids School District was Chris's first and only employer during his tenure as a teacher. In addition to Chris's classroom responsibilities, he also served as the computer cadre for Grove and was a great resource for his colleagues. Chris was involved with many professional organizations during his teaching career, including the Wisconsin State Reading Association, Central Wisconsin Reading Council, and the Wisconsin Kindergarten Association, to name a few. During part of Chris's career, he was also staff development coordinator at Grove. Chris plans to spend time in retirement with his family, teaching quilting classes, and get out to do some traveling. He already has his first trip planned to Mexico in order to view the monarch butterfly migration. Thank you for all of your contributions to our district over the years, Chris. Best wishes for a wonderful and happy retirement. From Superintendent Evers, in recognition of 38 years of commitment and service to the educational well-being of our young people, these contributions are acknowledged with this expression of grateful appreciation. Congratulations.
I just want to say thank you. It's been awesome. So,
Thank you. Enjoy your retirement.
good.
So, John. That we have to turn the tap on.
few years of experience are going to walk out of the door. I don't know if that's good or bad. but-
228 years of experience are walking out the door tonight.
Wow.
228.
Thank you all.
Yes, like the legacy of well left behind, so thank you.
Finest.
Okay, we can move on to the minutes.
Okay, I would make a motion to approve the regular Board of Education meeting minutes of June 13th, the special Board of Education meeting and the budget hearing on June 20th, and the special Board of Education meeting open and closed of July 5th.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the regular Board of Education meeting minutes of July 13th, the special Board of Education budget hearing meeting minutes of June 20th, the special Board of Education meeting and closed session minutes of July 5th, 2016. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries, minutes are approved. Move on to comments from citizens. Is there anything tonight, Maureen? Okay, move on to committee reports. John, can you start us out with business services?
I'd be happy to. Thanks, John. We met on Tuesday, July 5th at 6 p.m. We had no public comment. On our meeting, we had 2 consent agenda items. Did anybody want either one of them held out? Okay, hearing none. Our first consent agenda item had to do with the inter-district agreement, of which, fortunately for us, is bringing 14 students into our virtual program. And the 66.03.01 agreement is an open enrollment, cooperative agreement is open enrollment for how we have to bring district students, or outside students into our district. So we have a motion was made for the 66.03 cooperative agreement for students attending the virtual program in the CETA School District as listed. Our second item was a discussion item originally it's dealing with the district inter-school delivery, and we did decide to have some action to move forward on a motion that proposes and create a combined position providing inter-school mail and food service deliveries in-house, with the building and grounds receiving secretary position for the other part of the job for approval. So the committee recommends and I move to approve BS1 and BS2.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve BS1 and BS2. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion's carried.
All right, then we had a couple updates, purchases updates. We had an application for the Fuel Up Play 60 grant, which every time you see one of those are always good to have. That is at, for following schools, Grow How, Lincoln, Mead, and Rudolph for a total of $16,470. And then we have a host site for the AmeriCorps Farm to School, so that's a joint project with AmeriCorps Farm to School between our food service director and the Farm to School leads at the Wood County Health Department. And currently, they are still looking to fill those positions. And then the follow-up purchase updates. So the committee moves and I recommend the balance of the minutes along with the minutes from our closed session of June 27th and our closed session of July 5th for approval.
Okay, motion and a second to approve the Business Service Committee meeting minutes of July 5th and the special Business Service Committee meeting minutes of June 27th and July 5th. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Minutes are approved. Thanks, John. Next, we'll move on to personnel. Sam.
Personnel Services met July 5th. We had no public comment at that meeting. And from that meeting, we have 2 consent agenda items, and they are as follows. The first one, the committee recommends and I move to approve the 3 professional staff appointments, the 1 summer school support staff appointment, the 1 summer buildings and grounds support staff appointment, and the 2 support staff appointments. Secondly, the committee recommends and I move to approve the following resignations. Professional staff of 4 and 1 non-represented certified staff.
I'll second that.
Okay, a motion is second to approve PS1 and PS2. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Can I ask a question on, were all of them?
Yes, they all paid liquidated damages. And then we discussed supplemental pay for professional staff. And what this is, it's when we have a, two classes with one teacher, like a third or fourth, a first or a second. We have 3 schools next year that may have that, and that would be Rudolph, multi-age, Grant, multi-age, and perhaps Vesper. And we're looking at a $2,500 stipend for a teacher that's incurring that type of situation for the coming year. It's something that's been done in the past, and we think it should continue because it's a great burden on those teachers to have those different levels in one classroom. And with that, I move that the committee minutes be approved as printed.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion is second to approve the committee meeting minutes of the Personnel Service Committee of July 5th, 2016. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Randy, did you want to do this?
But
That's for this week.
it's back at the take it place.
Never mind.
I'll do that next month.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sandy. We'll go to Educational Services. Ann.
June 13th.
Thanks, John. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. The Educational Services Committee also met on July 5th, and we had no public comment. We started our actionable items. We had 5 of those, and I wonder if there's any that anyone would like to have held out. Okay, the first one was about career technical education, the Carl Perkins Grant. Kathy Stebbins-Hintz, who is our Director of Curriculum and Instruction, updated the committee on the curriculum enhancements and modifications in all CTE areas. She also highlighted what Carl Perkins Grant dollars are used for. The allocation for the Carl Perkins Grant for the 2016-17 school year is $44,872. The focus of the 2016-17 grant continues to be STEM education, high skill demand and wage careers, preparation and transition to post-secondary education, and career pathways. Our second actionable item was completion of secondary science acquisition. And Dave Bergeson, Science CII Chair and Coordinator, explained the proposed materials acquisition. He reviewed what has been done since 2013, when the first phase of the science acquisition was presented to the board and the secondary curriculum was approved. Mr. Bergeson presented the science mission statement, vision, and best practices. He also shared changes to the curriculum overview at the secondary level. And that acquisition will come to $106,437.97 or less. I hope that 97 cents, wow. Okay. Our third one was on Outdoor Learning Center at Mead Elementary Charter School. Melissa Miller, the second grade teacher, and Margie Dorhorst, principal from Mead Elementary Charter School, were present to explain their vision of an outdoor learning center. Ms. Miller explained how the concept came about, the benefits of an outdoor classroom, advantages of more green space, and what has already been done to research the idea, including meetings with Ed Allison, Director of Buildings and Grounds, as well as Dr. Colleen Dickman, our superintendent. The third actionable item was about our activities code, and Ron Rasmussen, principal of Lincoln High School, presented the 2 additional changes requested on Wisconsin Rapids Schools Activities Code and the reasons for the requests. Okay, and then the fourth one was about pupil academic standards. Kathy Stebbins-Hintz, Director of Curriculum and Instruction, reviewed how districts are required to provide notification surrounding public academic standards. Parents will be provided notice of this information through the WRPS website, as noted on attachment C. And our last actionable item was That was it. I'm sorry. I can't count. I've had a bad weekend. All right. So the the committee recommends, and I move that we approve ES 1 through 5.
Second.
Okay, motion is second to approve ES 1 through 5. Maureen, could we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Bembo?
Yes.
Mr. Krings?
Yes.
Mrs. Lee?
Yes.
Mrs. Head?
Yes.
Mrs. Rayon?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Thank you, Maureen.
On the updates, we talked about the transition support at River Cities High School. Kathy Stebbins-Hintz and Colleen Dickman reviewed a plan developed in collaboration with RCHS staff and community members to address the issue of post-high school educational opportunities for RCHS graduates. A proposed position is being discussed, which would be for a transition support person. This person would follow through with graduates to provide support in their educational endeavors. The position will be funded through a donation from a community member. And with that, the committee recommends, and I move that we approve the minutes of the July 5th Education Services Committee meeting.
Okay, motion is second to approve the meeting minutes from the Ed Services Committee of July 5th, 2016. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries, minutes are approved. Thank you.
John, I couldn't help but comment that Melissa Miller is donating a lot of extra time with her idea. And I think it's great, a great thing to get kids outside and moving around and learning. That's
Yeah. Isn't it crazy? My son was telling about this pokey ball thing, whatever it is, on their phones, and they said kids are getting more exercise in the last 3 days, running around outside looking for these things on their phone, and whatever gets them moving, I guess.
Kids love to move.
Okay, next we'll move on to agenda referrals and information requests. Does anyone have anything this month? Okay, we can move on to legislative agenda. John, you have anything this month?
There's a few things. As far as, first thing on the WASB website, it says teachers wanted. Then there's a little article, it says declining teacher supply has become a problem. The decline in pay and prestige for Wisconsin teachers may explain the most stunning statistic, which found a 49% decline in teacher applicants coming to Wisconsin from other states. So they added the cost of school districts and state and called this situation is a crisis, as Ryan probably is finding out and knows well, all too well. The other things that were on here, basically July 1st, the general aid came out, and for the first time, voucher students will be accounted for in that general aid. Federal government, and it's kind of ironic that we just approved our Carl Perkins grant. The federal government Career and Tech Ed for the 21st Century Act is reauthorizing the Perkins and CTE Act, and it hasn't been updated basically since 1996. But it looks like they're putting funding in and continuing the Carl Perkins grant program, of which this year our school got $44,872 from that grant to do the CTE programs and all the programs that Mr. Seiler and all of it, not Mr. Redpenny anymore. But where they get the guidance and the money to do those things. There has been a series on board, if you ever go to WASB, talking about the ESSA Act. Number 1 was the basics of the law. Number 2 is accountability plans. Number 3 is talking about state report cards. And then there's a item here that just came out that the U.S. Department of Education has proposed draft regulations for a pilot set up under ESSA, in which 7 states will be allowed to design and test innovative assessments, starting with a few districts and then scaling up to schools statewide over a period of 5 years. So our testing woes will probably continue for, it sounds like, for 5 years before somebody makes a decision on what they're going to do with testing. So I imagine we will have to stay abreast of that. And the only other things I had in here as far as WASB was talking about, there's a July advocacy and tip basically, and there's 14 burning questions for legislators and candidates as we go into the fall. And it's just asking you that you know who is running for your state legislature and your local Senate and Assembly districts, and get the information you need and try to set up a candidate forum, which I think they're going to probably be a little bit busy doing that. But basically, find out who's running and what they're for, and vote. So that's all I got.
Okay, thank you, John, for the update. We'll move on to the bills.
I would make a motion that the receipts be noted and the bills be paid as printed.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second that the receipts be noted and bills paid as printed. You have a roll call, please, Maureen?
Mr. Bendel?
Yes.
Mrs. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Creams?
Yes.
Mrs. Het?
Yes.
Mrs. Rayland?
Yes.
Thank you, Lee. Next, new business, possible action on employee appointments, resignations, and retirement requests.
I would move that. What?
Going to discuss
We're gonna talk about it.
There you go ahead and do what you want.
I move that he talk about it.
I distributed a sheet just prior to the start of the meeting that has 2 resignations listed. Unfortunately, we had a couple of employees in the last week that did come forward with resignations for, prior to the upcoming school year. So we thought we'd bring those through right away because we're looking to try to fill those positions as soon as possible as well. Both of them being support staff, non-professional staff positions. One is moving into a different employment opportunity, and another is resigning just for family personal reasons. And the last item listed then would be an appointment recommendation for a new athletic director. We've been going through a process for some time now. I know John has been involved in interviews, and we did come down to a finalist that we recommended we offered the position to, and John Frizzell is accepting the position. John is an experienced athletic director. He's been the athletic director at Chippewa Falls High School for the previous 7 years. So I think we are fortunate to be able to pick up an experienced individual. He was here today visiting the district and starting the paperwork process to have that ready to go in the event that you do approve the appointment this evening. And he's just excited, looking to hit the ground running because there are things that need attention already in preparation for the fall season coming up here in just a couple of weeks. You see the salary recommendation that the administration has brought forward on the sheet that I've handed around. In addition to that, I just wanted to also stress and point out to the board that John's recommendation for appointment is coming through as a non-represented professional position that is not an administrator contract, not an administrative appointment. We have a number of professional staff employees in our district that fall into that category that are not part of the teachers group, but are also not under an administrative contract. Some examples would be like our school psychologists, our nurses. I'm thinking about people like our network administrators that are individuals that are employed, have a benefit document that outline what their benefit package is, but are not under an actual contract. By law, there are only 3 employee classifications that are required by state statute to be under contract: teachers, administrators, and third, ironically, is bus drivers. If you employ your own bus drivers, a district like ours, working through a contractor for busing services, that's not something that we deal with. But you are not obligated to employ other employees, professional employees, under a contract by state law. This is a matter that I've discussed with our legal counsel, and they do recommend not having to do that, or don't do that when you're not required to. So that is how the recommendation for our athletic director position is coming forward for your action this evening. So I guess I'll take any questions if there are any then.
I have one. Does it affect when we had unions that defended the people in circumstances when they needed it? Does this take away those rights, or reduce them, or diminish them?
All employees, school employees, regardless of whether they're in an organized group or not, are subject to grievance procedures. So in matters of termination of employment or disciplinary matters, that's what employees who are non-represented have as far as rights to contest that action by a school district as the employer.
But they hired their own attorney, is that how it works?
Well, they wouldn't have to, I mean, they have the right to representation, but they wouldn't have to have an attorney to go through a grievance procedure.
Then I can move now. Can I do these all three at the same time? Brian? I move that the attached sheet position, the three positions, be approved as printed on the sheet. You all have the sheet?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the 2 support staff resignations and the 1 professional staff appointment. We have roll call on that, please, Maureen?
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Royal?
Yes.
Mrs. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Bembo?
Yes.
Mrs. Head?
Yes.
Mr. Frings?
Yes. Thank you, Maureen. Okay, with that, we can move to the calendar. Wednesday, we have a special personnel services committee meeting at 4 p.m. and then we don't have anything until August 1st. So with that, we're adjourned. Thank you.